Alright, so when I woke up yesterday, I thought it was a Wednesday, and so I got up and was like, time to film a Worth Watching Wednesday. But it was Tuesday. But now it's Wednesday, so it's time for Worth Watching Wednesdays. Alright, hello and welcome to another episode of Worth Watching Wednesdays. Our little bit of movie news for today is regarding Jurassic Park 4, or Jurassic World as they are deciding to call it apparently. So apparently Ty Simpkins, you know that kid from Iron Man 3 and Insidious, like the kid who's like a really good actor, he was just confirmed to be cast as one of the lead roles in Jurassic Park 4, Jurassic World. And to this, I say, yeah. I mean, the kid's a great actor, he's made a name for himself as an actor, and the fact that they've cast anybody in any role is kind of exciting because I remember back in like 2004 on IMDb it said, Jurassic Park 4 was going to come out in, I think it was supposed to come out in 2004, but then it got pushed back to 2008 or 6 or 8 I think, and then like 2010, and then it just disappeared, and now it's back for 2014. They're finally nailing something down for it. Now whether or not there should be a fourth Jurassic Park, I'm kind of on the fence about, just because Jurassic Park 3 was a really big disappointment, but this one, it's not directed by Joe Johnston, so, things might change up differently. And they've got Ty Simpkins, he's a good actor, and the reason I'm kind of excited about this is because it reminds me of what they did with the first movie, where he, as an actor, kind of reminds me of what Joseph Mazzello was like back in, 1993 in Jurassic Park. So I'm kind of hoping they're sort of doing a return to form there. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, I don't know, but let me know what you think of Ty Simpkins in Jurassic Park 4 in the comments down below. Alright, so for my movie review / recommendation for you guys of this week, I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite gangster movies, The Untouchables, starring Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Robert De Niro, and Andy Garcia. So this movie is directed by Brian De Palma, and it's based on the true story of this group of government agents in Chicago in the 1930s, right in the heart of the Prohibition gang war territory, and their job is to go after Al Capone. Which was kind of a really big deal, because it wasn't just like bringing down a terrorist or a criminal. I mean, you didn't touch Capone. He had bought out like half of the police department of Chicago and all the judges and stuff, so even if you brought a case against him, he was probably going to go free anyways, and then, all of his guys would go out and murder your families. So you just didn't go after Capone. These guys were risking their lives and, their reputations too, because it was at a point where, actually being a good cop in Chicago was like frowned upon, because you're not getting paid by the mob, and you're not just turning the other eye and letting things go along. You're actually like working for something. That was like not the place to be at that time. Now apparently some of the elements of this film are fictional, but some of the characters are real. You've got a real scenario, a real setup, the overall arcing timeline of events actually did happen. I think what this movie does really well is it gets you into that sort of 1930s feel. I mean, the set dressing and the locations all look great. The costumes really fit the time period and feel really authentic. I mean, Robert De Niro had the costume designers make him the silk underwear that Capone would have really worn, just so he could play the role as authentically as possible. You never see it in the movie, but apparently it's there. Another great thing about this movie that really helps set the mood is just the soundtrack. It's by Ennio Morricone, and he did the soundtrack to like Good and the Bad and the Ugly, and a bunch of other spaghetti westerns, and you can tell that what Brian De Palma was looking for when making this movie was like a gangster western. I mean, that's really what the soundtrack reflects. It's what the whole tone of the film reflects, with the lawman versus the outlaw is really sort of the tone that you have throughout this whole movie. And on top of all of that, you have some amazing acting from some really great actors. I mean, Robert De Niro was on top of his game at this point. He was at his peak, and he just owns the role of Al Capone. Every scene he's in, he's just intimidating and big. I mean, Robert De Niro put on a lot of weight for this role. And then on top of all of that, you have Sean Connery, and Sean Connery is a great actor, and he is a complete beast in this movie and steals every scene that he is in. I mean, if you are a Chicago mobster, you don't want to run into that one beat cop who happens to be played by Sean Connery, because he will beat you up and then interrogate you. He is like the moral support of the group and the muscle of the group. He really holds he's the glue of the movie, and he works great at doing all of that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give The Untouchables a 7.8 or 9. It's a really great movie, really well done. It has a couple little flaws in there which I find pretty easy to overlook, and it's on Netflix right now, I believe, so if you have Netflix, check it out. That is my recommendation for the week. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Worth Watching Wednesdays. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below of what you'd like me to recommend / review next week. Like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye.